What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? Yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is a live stream. So if you're watching this, it is right now on the East Coast, 7:39 a.m. So if you're watching this sometime in the afternoon, just know that my actual video that I usually do is already out. Just wanted to answer any questions that people who are early birds and up have. Yeah, I just have time. The video is going to take like 20 minutes to upload as usual with these live streams. So if you want to come in, ask me literally any single question you want. Before I get any questions, I am not a Dodgers fan. I am a Yankees fan. I do have a Dodgers hat. So, yeah, it's really early. I got up today at like 5:45. So the video's done. It's 7:40 in the morning. It's going to be uploaded, and then I'm going to work on some NFL stuff. It is finals week here at Penn State. Luckily enough, my finals week was pretty much last week, so I am all done. So while all these other kids are out there doing their final stuff, I'm in here doing the real stuff, the fun stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to leave this on. So if you're watching this on the replay, it might be boring. I'm probably not going to just talk about stuff unless people hop into this chat. So right now we don't have anybody in here, so I'm just going to let it, give it some time, two people in here. So yeah, if you have questions, ask your questions. If you have questions about yesterday's slate, today's slate, golf, MLB, just anything, ask away. I'm going to be right here, just chilling. So yeah. All right. And apologize for the noise in the background. That is just, I mean, if you could hear it like staticky or just loud, that is just a video uploading. So it should be up, I mean, relatively quick. It is at, oh, there's me. Yeah, the video should be up. It's already at pretty much 70%, so it should be good quick. So welcome everybody to the live stream. Ask your questions if you want. I'm going to just be chilling. Early morning, early bird live stream for sure. 2 cups of coffee already in. New start to the week. Crush your weeks. Like, honestly. People are like, oh, it's Monday, getting out of bed sad, and like, just quit your job. I mean, it's not that simple, right? But don't be depressed your whole life. There's more to life than just money. Boston taking the series, says Christian G. Yeah, so I said that I had Milwaukee in 6, and I was going to be bold and say 5. I had the Raptors in 6 as well, and I really wanted to say 5 for that one. Yeah, they came out and they stuffed. They just stuffed their stuff into the Bucks yesterday. Was not expecting a blowout that way. If any team was going to get blown out, I thought it would be Boston getting blown out. So is Boston taking the series? It looks a lot better now, right? I still have to side with the Bucks. I took them in 6. If I could push that back to 7, I will. If not, I'll stick with my 6. I didn't bet on that, so I guess I didn't put my money where my mouth is. But yeah, I mean, I'll come out and say if Al Horford plays the way that Al Horford played yesterday, yeah, it's going to be hard for Boston not to win this series. Now, the way Al Horford played yesterday was probably his best performance in his career. So if he comes out for 3 more games straight and lights it up with his best performance, then yeah, Boston probably takes this series. But I expect Giannis, I expect the team that was the best team in the East during the regular season at least, to kind of come back, attack that differently. So yeah, Boston taking the series, I don't know. Game 1, I don't want to overreact to. I still have the Bucks taking the series, but that was really impressive by Boston. Look, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I did not see that coming. I don't think anybody did. Vegas didn't. Nowhere near that. I had Milwaukee as like a 6-point favorite or something like that. Lose by 25 or whatever it was. So yeah, Christian, I still have the Bucks. I mean, I'm not betting on it. I think sports betting is pretty pointless in my opinion. Vegas's lines are solid to a point where you're not getting any leverage unless you're betting it the second it comes out, in my opinion. So you're pretty much just throwing your money in the air, and based on the rate that books take, their juice, it's going to be tough for you to ever really win money. But it's fun, right? So I guess that's why. So that's a good question. Yeah, yesterday was very interesting. I thought that the Harden takes and Draymond after the game, if you saw those post games, were pretty funny. Harden not being able to land was complete garbage. Like I don't have an NBA team. That's what I like about the NBA. My dad grew up Packers fan, Yankees fan, Bruins fan. I have those teams in those other sports, right? I root for them. The fact that I don't have an NBA team is nice because I don't give a shit what happens in the games. I'm not somebody who's like everybody else in America and just says, "Oh, fuck the Warriors. I hate watching them." Kevin Durant is beautiful to watch. Steph Curry is amazing to watch. Klay Thompson is great. Playoff Draymond is a whole nother level of just fun and entertaining. I like watching them. I also like James Harden. I just like watching good basketball. James Harden should have been able to land. There should have been 3 fouls called. He should have had an extra 9 free throw attempts yesterday that he did not have. And that's not taking into account his last shot. Like, that one was iffy. So I'll give you guys that one if you're on team, oh no, he kicked out his legs. Then sure, yeah, he did. But the other 3 shots, he didn't have any room to land. Those other 3 threes that Klay Thompson closed in on and whoever else was the other guy, he had no room to land. So I think Shaun Livingston. So yeah, he should have had the space to land there. So yeah, this game today should be good. I think I have everything ready to go. It just needs to upload. The video is at 88%. Should be up in a couple of seconds. So yeah, any other questions you have, just basketball in general, DFS. This probably won't be a long live stream. If I was doing this like an hour or 2 later, more people would be in here, so I could stay on a little bit longer and chat. But right now, not too much. I would love to be doing some live before lock tape stuff later in the day for these 2-game slates, and maybe I can. The fact is, though, it would have to come after this week, and that's when showdown stuff's going to happen, so it gets a little froggy. But we'll try it out. Damn, this laptop's about to explode. It's doing so much work. I'm getting hungry, too. Who do you like from the 76ers today? What's going on? So, yeah, obviously that'll be in the video that's about to upload, but I was pretty heavy in the last game on not liking anybody outside of Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler. And today I like the same guys pretty much. If I had to rank the Sixers for me in terms of tournaments ownership, it's going to be Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris in that order, with Embiid and Tobias Harris being very similar. I probably get the most of Jimmy Butler, both at his price of 6,600 is nice. He has the best matchup by far against Danny Green. But there's not a dire interest to get anybody on the Sixers. Look, I imagine they come back, they punch back a little bit today, but they still have awful matchups. Let me close this window. There's that weed whack and just piss me off. I don't know if that helped at all. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the 76ers, they're once again the team that I'm fine not getting much of out of all of these guys based on pricing. They're all priced up to a point where, yeah, if I'm going to get 1 or 2 of them, it's going to hurt me from getting 1 or 2 of these guys from another team that I much prefer. Tonight, who would you rather build a lineup with? Joker, Dame, Leonard, and work your way or more balanced? Jimmy choked first game. Yeah, Jimmy shot terrible first game. The whole team did. The whole team sucked. But Jimmy has the best matchup, and he is the cheapest, so I'll go back there. But again, 76ers I don't really want much of anyways. So would you rather build a lineup around Joker, Dame, Leonard, and work your way or go more balanced? Well, there's no way I'm not getting, if I'm making one lineup, I'm going with Jokic tonight. If I made 100 lineups, I'd be hard-pressed not to have 100 Jokic lineups tonight. And I never say lock this guy in. Sure, you can get 90%. Give yourself wiggle room if he gets injured. But it is really hard for me to not want to play. It's really hard for me to not want to play Jokic tonight in almost every single lineup I enter. He's too cheap at 10K. Who's going to defend him? Somebody in chat, please let me know who is defending Jokic tonight. And for that matter, who is defending Paul Millsap tonight? Kanter is questionable, and if he's in with one shoulder and he stinks on defense anyways, give me that all day. I hope Kanter plays. I hope bad defense, injured one shoulder Kanter plays tonight against Jokic. A triple-double walking machine, a guy who was averaging close to a triple-double against LaMarcus Aldridge and Jakob Poeltl in the last series. And now he's going to get Aminu and Zach Collins most likely today. I don't know who Jokic is going to get. So, yeah, Jokic for me, Christian, to start that lineup. And then Dame and Leonard. I'm not on Dame as much because I like Leonard more. But to be completely honest with you, after Jokic, I don't know. I haven't built the lineup yet. I might end up going more balanced. I might go Jokic and Embiid. I think that's going to be a very low-owned pairing on a 2-game slate. Keep in mind, Embiid is $9,400. He's only $200 more than Damian Lillard. On a slate like today, I prefer Embiid over Damian Lillard. And you might be saying, Sal, you're crazy, blah, 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 because everybody just saw a 37-foot three-pointer at the buzzer. Damian Lillard is fantastic. He's going to get a little bit of a tougher matchup in this series, and if I want to be contrarian on a 2-game slate, that's where I'm going to go. If you want to hold hands to the finish line with everybody else, then yeah, play the high-owned Kawhi Leonard today. Play the high-owned Jokic today. Play the high-owned, potentially, maybe not high-owned Damian Lillard, I'm not sure yet. But then it's going to be tough if you're just trying to squeeze in the rest of the value. I like the idea of going with Embiid and Jokic, especially because nobody's talking about Embiid. His price is down. I think that's a good way to go. What are your thoughts on Portland tonight? Kanter injured. Do you think there are value pivots in Leonard or Collins or safer with Aminu? Yeah, John, they definitely are. Here's the thing, though. I don't know where the minutes go. So if Kanter is out, there's 30 to 34 center minutes available, right? Probably 32. You're going to get Collins coming in and taking up most of those minutes. Zach Collins should come in and I imagine play mid to high 20s, but I don't think they run him out there for full 30-plus minutes, although they could. He was getting 10 to 12 to 15 minutes even with Kanter playing. So Myers Leonard is also going to get a bump. Myers Leonard is going to see in the teens and minutes if Kanter is out. They got somebody else in the roster. I don't know if he'll play much. So yeah, Aminu's going to get a bump. Aminu has to stay on the floor, right? This team is huge. They had to play. The Spurs had to play big. They had to play Podol. They had to play Aldridge. That's how they started their lineup, with a big lineup. I imagine Aminu goes out there and he gets, instead of his average 30 minutes, he gets closer to a floor of 32 minutes with a very real upside into the 36-minute range. So I just don't know who Portland. They're going to probably start Zach Collins. I don't know how they survive with Zach Collins out there. It's just, that's how I don't know. I don't think Portland wins this series. I don't think they come close to even touching this series. It probably gets settled in probably 5 games unless Damian Lillard just decides to average 50 a game. That's why you played Jimmy the second game. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, since game 1 of the first series, has been, I guess you could say, struggling. In game 4, he played great in the first half, got thrown out. In game 5, he was playing fine, and then it led to a blowout. So he's been playing fine. He's getting 38 minutes a game, and he's 6,600. Do I rather have 38 minute a game, 6,600 Jimmy Butler, or do I rather have 7,700, 36, 37 minute a game Ben Simmons with Kawhi Leonard on him? I take Jimmy Butler there all day. I got Portland in 6. Wow. Damn. Yeah, I got Denver. I mean, I haven't made a pick. If I had to make a pick, I'd say Denver in 6. But once again, I'm tempted to say 5. I keep saying that. Who defends Jokic and Paul Millsap? Jokic is going to be on the floor for like an average of 38 minutes a game in this series, and Paul Millsap will probably be out there for 32 minutes a game in this series. Who defends them? You think Aminu is defending Paul Millsap? Okay, maybe he does. Zach Collins or one-armed Enes Kanter is defending Jokic? This guy was just dropping triple-doubles on LaMarcus Aldridge, who's a very good defender. I just don't know how it happens. And then you have Gary Harris, who's been phenomenal. He absolutely shut down Derek White, who CJ McCollum is no Derek White, but there's a very real chance that Gary Harris can play great defense on CJ McCollum this series. So, I don't know. Lillard is $200 more than Kawhi. Will probably be less owned, but I don't see how he outscores Kawhi. I think there's a lot of ways that he outscores Kawhi. I mean, Kawhi just went absolutely bonkers in the last game, so the fact that Philly is probably going to be like, okay. And here's the thing. Kawhi shot beautifully. Like, Kawhi, to shoot that percentage and to make every single fadeaway, yeah, he could do it again, but it's probably unlikely. So there's just natural regression coming there. And then if Philly just shades more coverage his way, or just plays a little bit more physical, which it's tough to play physical with Kawhi because he's goddamn fucking huge. But, yeah, Kawhi, a lot of things can go a different way. Right now I have Kawhi, I think, projected for like 4 more fantasy points tonight. I think I have him on a median projection at like 51 or 52, and I probably have Dame around 47, somewhere around there. But I'm preferring CJ to Dame just based on pricing and things that I want to do with this slate. Would you still go Jokic on FanDuel? 11.3 salary, 3.3 more than Embiid. Yeah, Raz would. So people are asking more about FanDuel. Maybe in the playoffs I'll start to play FanDuel more, just more limited options, so your player pool gets just compressed in a better way, better chance of hitting, but also a better chance of splitting with so many people. I just don't play FanDuel enough. So like, I want to give you advice on that, but I have no idea what the other salaries at the other places look like. But in terms of Jokic or Embiid, yeah, I want as much Jokic as I can get. Pairing them both is great because most people, if they don't take Jokic, will take Embiid. Most people won't have both. So I'm looking to probably pair them both tonight. I know Marcus All plays Embiid great, but Embiid played 30 minutes in the last game, and he didn't close it out. So if we can expect Embiid to get those extra 3 or 4 minutes and play 34 tonight, even if it's a tough matchup, him playing 34 minutes in a playoff game, I like his odds of going for 50 fantasy points or more. Mike Scott is out, Christian. I don't know if you have my projections, but I got to change that in the projections. Mike Scott was already ruled out for game 2. Yeah, no problem, John. I'm just going to upload this video, by the way, guys, and girls. Yeah, Christian, Mike Scott is out, so he was ruled out for game 2, I believe, last night. I would say 29th. Damn, we got 20 people in here this early? You guys are the morning bird people? Nice. Nope, that's the wrong one. Yeah, keep asking the questions. I like this. I'm excited to see these playoff series roll out. Like I follow obviously NBA for DFS purposes, so like I could be missing something with the Blazers, but to me it just seems like extremely tough for this team to have any shot at winning this series based on the fact that they have no big men. Like if Nurkic is in, then yeah, obviously the series would be fantastic. I mean, Jokic versus old team, um, Nurkic versus old team. That's like good TV. This series would probably go the distance. I just don't see how it goes the distance or it goes really anywhere close to it. That's good. I can't believe there's 20 people in here this early. Damn. Jokic, the cover boy. I don't know how he wouldn't be. Yeah, any more questions that you have, ask away. We're that into DFS, getting up this early. Um, I do this. Yeah, I haven't done this in 2 weeks because like right before I went on and I did the like I put like the thumbnail in for this live stream. There was one on there that said April 15th. So I haven't done this in 2 weeks, but I went like a week or two straight of just doing a video as I uploaded the actual video, sort of to kill time. So I should do it more often. You're absolutely right. Playoffs coming to an end or the NBA coming to an end is pretty sad just in general. But yeah, I would like to do this before lock, right? I've done that only a handful of times, and it makes sense. Like, do it before lock. You'll get more views. More people will pay attention. You can give people more content. But it's just been tough. I like reserved rooms on my campus here at Penn State, and me reserving rooms at that late at night is just tough because usually people reserve them before me. And just carrying, I got a ring light, I got a green screen behind me, just carrying all this stuff back on campus at night is just a hassle sometimes. But thank you, campaign. I appreciate that. All right, the actual video is about to be up, so it might be up already. It might be loading. Up in 6 minutes. It's processing. Cool. So we will chill. Yeah, and here's a question for everybody. I know I've asked it in a video. I ran a poll on Twitter. What content do you want to see? Just moving forward. I mean, it's April 30th. It's about to be May. It's the summer months. The NBA is slowly coming to an end. Once we get showdown sites for the NBA, until the NBA Finals, I'm not going to be covering it. The NBA Finals, I think there's like $1 million prizes, so yeah, I'll cover that. But after like this week, maybe into next week, if these games or these series go a little bit closer to 7 games, then I'll continue to do NBA content. But NBA content's coming to an end. Today, I'm going to be working on just like fuller season or NFL rankings in terms of I'll make a video for quarterbacks, like 10, 15-minute videos. I'll do it not just saying this guy's ahead of this guy ranked. No, I'll give you like data from last year, things that like I actually like looking at. So what do you want to see content-wise? In 3 weeks, I'm going to attempt to do some WNBA content, see if that gets any pull. I'm going to start to drop some NFL longer season rankings in like probably closer to like a month maybe, once we have some more secure depth charts. Yeah, MLB. A lot of people want me to do MLB content. I could do MLB content. It's just boring, in my opinion. It's really boring because, look, if you're playing MLB correctly, you're stacking. And for me to tell you which stacks are good, I mean, it's going to be based off Vegas odds, which you guys can all look up who has the highest implied run total. And then maybe in bigger tournaments, not taking the highest owned or the highest run total and just going with the second and the fourth highest run total and stacking it and see if it fits in. And then just finding your pitchers from there. So to me, that's just boring. Like, I can tell you the weather, all this stuff, but I don't know. Like, if it wasn't a sport where you had to stack and me saying, okay, this guy's good, then yeah, it's a little better because you can get just individual players. But for me, I'm looking at stacks, like left-handed batter stacks against this pitcher who struggles against lefty on a good team, whatever it might be. What about blowout on Denver? Can you fade? So Jay, I assume you're saying if the game in Denver blows out, who would I fade? Like on both teams or on Denver? Because if the game in Denver blows out, I imagine Jokic has a triple-double or close to it. So I'm still not fading Jokic. And he usually plays in blowout run. And let's keep this in mind. It's the second round of the playoffs. We saw the Toronto blow out this Sixers team, albeit late in the game, but we still had Kawhi Leonard out there with 3 minutes to go and Siakam out there with 4 minutes to go. So I would say 99% of the time they're playing the majority of the fourth quarter, even in a 20-point blowout in the playoffs. So especially in game 1 of a series. So I'm not just because crazy things can happen and a team can hit 4 threes in a row and then it's a close game again with 4 minutes left. They're down 8, right? Something, just anything, you just don't want it to happen. So I don't even know because I'm not going to even consider that. But I mean, I don't know who you fade. The Denver guys are probably going to get the full run. Like, there's not going to be a situation tonight where all of the Denver starters or all of the Portland starters aren't playing minutes in the fourth quarter. And if they lose 1 or 2 minutes, then it's not worth fading and it's not worth playing any dust players on the bench. Yeah, no problem, Jay. That's just like how I'm trying to put it. Like, in the regular season, sure, there's a situation where the starters don't come out when they're up 20 for the fourth quarter at all. Even if they're up 20 today, I think they're going to come out and play 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. Those extra 5 minutes that they won't play, or maybe extra 3 minutes depending on their rotation, aren't enough for me to say, oh, I don't want to play him. Or they aren't enough for me to say, you know what, Malik Beasley's that much of a better play today. No, that's not how it is for me. Any rules or restrictions you would set for the Raptors if playing multiple entries? Yeah. I wouldn't want more than 5, or I wouldn't want more than 4, not 5. I wouldn't want more than 4 to start, but I think you could play 4 on this slate like this. More realistically, 3. Specific rules, if I don't have Kawhi Leonard, I'm going to want to have more if I don't have Kawhi Leonard today in a lineup, I'm going to want to have more Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. Like, those guys paired together. So if you set a rule that says certain amount of lineups that if Kawhi is out, then yeah, I want more of this pairing. Outside of that, yeah, you can just set standard rules in terms of having Kawhi and Siakam. I wouldn't have too many Kawhis and Lowrys. They just completely negatively correlate, and at their price points, it's not enough for Lowry if he goes for 32 for you to feel okay if it hurts Leonard, right? But if you don't, I think that's the biggest one. If you don't have Kawhi, you want more Lowry. And realistically, I think in both of those lineups, whether it's Kawhi or Lowry, you have Siakam. I think another rule is obviously no Marc Gasol paired with, but on a 2-game slate, you can go there, but I wouldn't. Marc Gasol paired with Ibaka. I think that if you don't have Kawhi, another sneaky pairing could be a Lowry, Siakam, Ibaka, or a Lowry and Ibaka. Ibaka and Lowry have the biggest splits when Kawhi is off the court. So if he's off the court / not performing well, the production goes to a guy like Lowry, increases. And Ibaka, even though he's not starting anymore, so that might be a little bit dated, I still kind of like getting him in there a little bit. Saquon, number 1 overall. We are. Hey, Dave, what's going on? Yeah, Saquon in fantasy, number 1 overall, PPR. It's got to be PPR, right? If it's not PPR, I don't even know how you even reach for that because he's going to be facing 8-man fronts. Now, I watched him face 8-man fronts in person at Penn State all the time, and he held his own, but in the NFL, it's a little bit different. Yo, what's going on, Daniel? What's up, fellas? This is Sick Sal. Yeah, Daniel, I haven't done this in like 2 weeks, but I was always doing them as the videos uploaded, which, speaking of, 20 seconds away, 92% uploaded. Who are you looking at as value besides the Nuggets core? Any interest in Van Vliet or Seth Curry as pivots at all, or just hitting more guaranteed minutes with Harris, etc.? In terms of value, I'm not even that interested in the Nuggets core. Sure, $4,100. Whoa, what the heck? What's up, Draft Dashboard? I didn't even know I had that enabled. That felt good. Thank you, Chris. I assume that's Chris over at Draft Dashboard. Thank you. Alex Bush, thank you so much. I hit third. I'll get to that other question. I hit third Friday and second Sunday on Drafters. Rank them this weekend. Thanks for all the advice, Sal. Hey, still playing on Drafters. Yeah, I play on Drafters here and there. I should play more on Drafters, honestly. But I appreciate those. For those of you that don't know what was just dropped in here, I think it's called like Super Chat by YouTube. And I didn't even, maybe it automatically enables when you get to like the 1,000 subscriber mark. But it's similar to Twitch if you've been on Twitch where you can just kind of pledge to people. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Alex. So John, just to get to your question, any core, and also just a shout out to Draft Dashboard if you are watching the chat. We've shouted them out before. I'm actually going to try Draft Dashboard today. They just added their max or mass entry tool. So if you've ever used another site, you want to know how to generate lineups and a lot of them. You have your own exposures. So they've had this tool, but now you could set individual exposures on players, which was honestly a huge add for them. Having the ability to say, I want 80% Jokic today, instead of just build these lineups, it makes a big difference. Now, on a 2-game slate, you might not get 80% Jokic because it's hard to just mash players together in a certain way to get you that, but you can get close to it if you limit some things. So check out Draft Dashboard. There is a link down below in this video for Draft Dashboard, and you get it 30 days for $1. And yeah, they have their new tool, so check that out. And thank you again, Alex. It's pretty awesome that you hit that high. I appreciate that. Thank you. Anytime for the advice. So, John, to get back to your question, the Nuggets core, yeah, Torrey Craig, if he's going to start, if he's going to continue to start, which I imagine he does, right? You want him to isolate probably a CJ McCollum in this series, which would hurt CJ a little bit if you're going to have a guy just focused on stopping him, right? That's what Torrey Craig's job is. I doubt they put him on Damian Lillard. I don't think you see that. But Torrey Craig, 4,100, sure, makes sense. $3,600 Malik Beasley, sure, that makes some sense to me as well. In terms of he's playing 20 minutes, he's 3,600, he's some sort of value. But who are you looking for as value? I'm not looking at them too much. Harris at 4,900, I'm also not getting to. And again, I haven't built lineups. If I had $5,000 left and only a guard position, I'd probably go Harris over going down to Torrey Craig or somebody like that, right? Or even Fred VanVleet or Seth Curry. I don't have interest in Fred VanVleet. I don't have interest in Seth Curry. Look, there are a handful of guys today who are going to play, 20 minutes or around there. Seth Curry, Fred VanVleet, they're both in that category. And if they're playing 20 minutes and they have a good game and they shoot well and they shoot 60 or 70% instead of 30 or 40%, then yeah, they'll land somewhere near 20 fantasy points and they'll be pretty good at their price point. But in terms of value, it's going to come and it's going to be extremely chalky. It's going to come from a guy like Zach Collins at $2,900. It's going to come from a guy like Myers Leonard at $2,800, depending on how those rotations go. Other forms of value, and we can go to my early interest. The video, let me make sure the video goes up first. John says those new integrations are awesome on Draft Dashboard. Yeah, rank 'em is fun, Alex says. Yeah, rank 'em's brand new. I don't know, Alex, were you doing that for golf? What did you say you did them for? Sunday, Friday and Sunday. Yeah, did you do that for golf? Because the rank 'em was fun. I did it for the Masters. I will get to everybody's questions in 1 second. This is just officially like putting the video up. And I apologize. I add these ads on myself, or add these ads, yeah. Some people don't like those, but I'm sorry. I just add them. It makes me make like $500 a month just from making the videos, so it makes it, something, right? Pays my rent, so I apologize if you don't like skipping through them. So I think the video is up. The video is up. I'd appreciate it if you continue to stay here. There's 33 of you. I'm having fun doing this. I will scroll down. I will hit on the rest of those. I just want to make sure I finish up on John's question. Let's go to my early interests. And again, there's going to be some guys in here who aren't. So in terms of value, I like getting to Danny Green probably more than a Fred VanVleet. 4K. He's going to play 28 minutes at a minimum, probably closer to 30, 32 like he did in the last game. Like I said, Zach Collins is in play. Myers Leonard is in play. I think you go to Aminu. Now, I know you're talking about 3K value cheap, but I think you find the money, you go up to Aminu. If not, you find the money, you go up to Torrey or Danny Green. In the 3K range, there's nothing that stands out to me. Boban is interesting, but he takes up a center spot, right? 3,300 should play, only 12, 13 minutes today, but he averages 1.25 points a minute. So that's definitely interesting. But yeah, cheap value. I prefer Malik Beasley, a guy who's going to play 20 minutes and he can hit a 3 or 2 or 3, right? Nothing in that other range, though, for me. What does this do? We got this here, so I don't know why I just got fascinated by whatever this is. I don't know how to close it out now. Should be down here. There we go. Interesting. Cool. I could put a user on timeout in here. Wow. Jimmy Butler bounce back. Look, I think the whole team needs to bounce back, right? They shot terrible. They shot like 30% in the last game. So yeah, Jimmy Butler bounce back. I think it's very much in play. Again, he has the best matchup on this team individually against Danny Green, Ben Simmons against Kawhi, Embiid against Gasol. Although yeah, Embiid has an elevated skill set, still going up against Gasol. JJ Redick against who I believe is Lowry, and then you have Tobias against Siakam. He has the best matchup by far. So yeah, I think he has a nice chance to bounce back. Integrations on DD look good. Campaign, thank you, $9.99. I like that. You gave me the little discount there. Giving back. April has been great on DK. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, Cam. Thank you very much. Yeah, again, until 5 minutes ago, I had no idea I had these little super chat things on. I always saw this $sign down here, but I didn't know what it meant. So thank you so much. The behind the scenes sneak peek. You earned it, bro. All good. Yeah, you got the little behind the scenes sneak peek of me putting up the video. Yeah. Realistic to fade Kawhi due to them most likely going to double and make others beat them. Yeah, so Laurent Page, it is 1,000% realistic to fade Kawhi today. I haven't projected his 51 fantasy points. I believe I haven't projected for the second most fantasy points on the slate, but obviously price comes into that, right? If you're playing on a site like Drafters and you could just draft people not factoring in price, then sure, it's going to be tough to fade Kawhi. But on a slate like today, I think it's okay to fade Kawhi because there's other options out there, namely $400 more, Joel Embiid, who will be significantly under-owned today, and Kawhi will be significantly over-owned. This matchup is still great for Kawhi, but keep in mind, he shot lights out in the last game. I don't think he shoots at that high of a clip moving forward. So it's tough to fade Kawhi, but here's the thing. Every single person, or the far majority of people, are going to want to play Kawhi today. So I'm fine getting away from Kawhi if you're going to an Embiid, a Damian Lillard because of it, because they'll have lower ownership and they still have similar upsides. Do Harkless and Aminu negatively correlate? I don't know on the iPhone. It stops at $9.99. Yeah, I was just busting you, Payne. No. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's very generous, regardless of the penny. Do Harkless and Aminu negatively correlate? I would say that's like neutral, right? So they don't negatively correlate because they're both going to start today. So it's not like Harkless is directly coming in for Aminu, unless I'm wrong. In some series when they come in and out, they do. But Harkless will start at the 3 today, and you'll get Aminu starting at the 4. And Harkless is going to play 34 minutes today on average, and Aminu probably sees a bump because this Denver team is bigger, and Aminu probably sees closer to, 34 as well. At least I'd say 30 is locked in for him. So I don't think they negatively correlate. I think at $4,300 Aminu, I prefer him being at the 4 position closer to the basket. Has a tougher matchup though. Harkless, though, you can play both of them. I think it's dangerous because in terms of negatively correlating, no. But in terms of impacting each other, yes. Now, maybe that's negatively correlating, but I don't think it means that both can't score 30 DraftKings points today. But I don't think both can reach their ceilings today together, right? So if Aminu goes for 42 DraftKings points today, I don't think you're going to get Harkless scoring high 30s, right? If that makes sense. Now, it's not bad if Harkless scores 28 and Aminu scores 42. You probably take that. But I don't think you're ever going to get them both to score 40, which you can get out of some other players. Favorite point guard today? Favorite point guard? That's tough, right? Because, what are we factoring in just in general? I can probably look at that. Let me look at my projections just in terms of... DraftKings, I imagine, favorite point guard, or at least that's just what I'm probably going to look for at least. Positions, point guards. Well, we don't have a lot to choose from, that's for sure. So, based on value, my favorite point guard, believe it or not, is Kyle Lowry. Based on pure points, I don't know what you're looking for here. Based on pure points, it's Damian Lillard. I have Damian, and you can see it right here. Well, maybe you can't. Maybe it's too small. I have Damian projected for real points today, 45.96, so 46 fantasy points. That's him pretty much hitting value at $9,200. I have Kyle Lowry projected high. I have him for about 38 fantasy points today. I have him at a point per minute. So this is me saying that if I don't think Kawhi Leonard does what he did last game, which I don't think that's unrealistic to say he doesn't score 70. Jamal Murray I have at 35. That gives him a little more value. I probably have Lowry a little too high. I think I have to juice back his points per minute for this matchup. But again, he's probably not going to have Simmons on him again. So, Kyle Lowry is my favorite point guard today for multiple reasons. Tournament-wise, if you're playing cash and you have all the money in the world, then Damian Lillard. TJ McConnell is at 2,900 on DraftKings, LOL. Crazy. No 20-minute surprise game in this round. Sheesh. What do you mean, no 20-minute surprise game? What does that mean? But, TJ McConnell, I don't think he's in play at 2,900. Who will be on Harkless? Torrey Craig is listed as a shooting guard on FanDuel and is a superior defender. I assume Harris is shooting guard and Craig is small forward, right? Yeah, Raz. That's how they've been doing it. So, here's the thing. Torrey Craig is not locked in to start today, but I imagine he is, right? He's going to isolate probably CJ McCollum. But Gary Harris is the Denver shooting guard, and Torrey Craig has been starting at the 3. So, you're right on that. Favorite point guard for FanDuel, Brian says. Okay. I'm going to have to get FanDuel up. I just don't play on FanDuel, but I could help you out. Again, I don't know what the overall salaries are looking like. Let's just enter a lineup. So Ben's a point guard here. Oh, sheesh. Wow, these point guards suck. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's four options, right? Unless you want to throw a dart with Fred VanVleet. So I don't know where the punt option is, right? You guys can probably tell me where the punt option is. I imagine it's. So FanDuel's a little. Zach Collins is there, so I mean, you can punt with Zach Collins. You're gonna have to start two power forwards, anyways. It's probably still Kyle Lowry, 7,500 for me. It's not Ben Simmons. Jamal Murray's close, but I don't know where you're trying to spend up. I imagine you're trying to get Jokic, so Kyle Lowry still. Philly stack, says Jay Osborne. That would be the ultimate contrarian move. I think if you're going to do a Philly stack, you need Embiid in there because if your stack is going to win a tournament today, and in terms of a Philly stack, I imagine you're saying you're going to get, 3 Philly players? I imagine you need an Embiid 60 burger. And then I'd probably end up stacking Embiid, Butler, and Tobias if I had this Philly stack. Would you rather build a lineup with more bigs or guards tonight? I always go for more bigs. Here's the thing. Let's look at the target offense sheet, and I'll show you why. I always go for more bigs. And that's a very umbrella statement to say, but it can very easily be I'm trying to think. It can very easily be guards. I haven't built the lineup, so I don't know who falls into my utility spot because that's what it comes down to. But I mean, just in general, bigs score more points, and I'm going to be having probably Jokic in all my lineups or very close to it. I don't know why this won't zoom in, but if you can see this, let's just do this. Wow, I got big. These are centers. These are the average points that centers score, just depending on the team. It's still in the 50s. These are point guards. Yeah, some of them are in the 50s, but not all. These are shooting guards. I don't ever want those in my lineup. As much as I can avoid them, I will. 2-game slate's a lot harder. So yeah, I always want bigs just because they score the most points. Come on. Jesus Christ. There we go. Zach Collins will probably get chalky. Yeah, I don't think it matters, Quincy. What's going on, Quincy? I don't think it matters. At $2,900, he's not going to be 100% owned in a tournament, so I'll just own him 100% of the time. And if Zach Collins goes out there and scores 7 fantasy points, I'll just say, okay, I lost tonight. I don't know how you avoid a starting center, even against Denver, even in the worst potential matchup possible for him. I don't know how you avoid a starting center who all that they have behind him is a guy that they've been just reluctant to even play in Meyer Leonard. And even if he does play, what does Meyer Leonard play? Max, a ceiling of 20 minutes tonight. So there's still 28 center minutes around, which I imagine Zach Collins gets all too close of those. At 2,900, he can be 85% on the slate, and I probably still want 100%, which is hard. I usually don't want that, but he's too cheap. Where else are you going to go to? It would be hard pressed for me if Enes Kanter is out tonight to believe that Zach Collins or Myers Leonard, one of them, right, whoever gets more minutes, is not in a winning lineup or most winning lineups. As in it will happen, might be. What do you mean by that, Daniel? Oh, crazy. No 20-minute surprise game in this round. Sheesh. For TJ McConnell, is that what you mean? I have Lillard and Lowry. Yeah, you got to pick 2 point guards. My bad. Yeah, Lowry and Lillard makes sense if you have the money to do it. I imagine that a guy like Zach Collins allows you to, and then you could just pretty much punt away a position, just play a guy who's minimum price and not going to score any points because you say, okay, I'll take the 0 here. What's up, bro? I've been getting hammered in the 2-game slates. Hope everybody hits big today. Yeah, what's going on, DFS 300? Yeah, so have I. The 2-game slates stink. They're terrible. We have no edge. People who look into it a lot more have no edge. Because there's just less players for us to kind of gain an edge on and less players to gain ownership leverage on and things like that. Dude, bigs all day for sure. Yeah. Bigs, generally speaking, bigs for sure, but we have to break down into it slate by slate. There's a lot of decent guards in the slate, but there's also a lot of bigs I like. And if I'm going to be going with an Embiid and Jokic stack, which I'm very tempted to do, then I'm just naturally not going to have more guards because I have to take up a utility spot with a center. Pretty much a free square even if Kanter plays, says Quincy. Yeah, if Kanter plays Collins, knowing that Kanter... listen, Kanter separated his shoulder. I mean, you saw him running down the court the whole time holding his shoulder. That was 2 or 3 days ago? 3 days ago he separated his shoulder? Yeah, I imagine if he plays, he's not 100%. I imagine if he plays, he doesn't run out there for 32 minutes. But at 2,900 playing Collins, if Kanter plays, there's risk there. He could play 14 minutes Collins, and that's not doing you any good even at 2,900. I really need Kanter to be out for that to happen. Collins doesn't have to score, and he will get to value with steals and blocks. Yeah. I mean, he can get to value with that, or he can score. Look, if he's going to play 26 minutes at 2,900, score me 10 fantasy points as a starting center. How hard is that to ask for? Score me 10 or 10 real points. So there's your 10 fantasy points. Get me 6 rebounds. Like, do below average stuff for a guy playing 26 to 28 minutes at a center position. Again, tough matchup, but still. Get me 6 rebounds, and right there I'm fine, right? Right there you got me 18 fantasy points at 2,900. But then sure, pick up a stock. Pick up some stocks, steal a block. Yeah, for TJ. Yes, Philly 3 players. Yeah, so if I had to rank Philly's players today, for me, if I'm playing a tournament, it's Joel Embiid 1, it is Jimmy Butler 2, it is Tobias Harris 3, and then Redick and Simmons just kind of fall into place there. I like Joel Embiid today just because I think he's going to be significantly under-owned, and he's at a price point where you're choosing between Damian Lillard and Joel Embiid. I want the center there most likely all day. People are going to see 30 minutes in the last game and say, oh, Joel Embiid's still hurt. At least he got 30 minutes. No. The starters didn't play the final 5 minutes of that game. If that game stayed close, Joel Embiid was going to close it out and play 35 minutes, and that is something I want a piece of at 9,400. If Joel Embiid, even up against Marc Gasol for a lot of his minutes, I'm just unplugging my laptop, even if he plays 32, 34 minutes, which is probably going to happen today if this game stays close, yeah, he is in a better position than any to score 50 fantasy points today. And then you might say, oh, well, cool, so is Kawhi. Kawhi can score that much. Yeah, he can, but I'd say even though Kawhi just went out for 70 points, I'd say that Joel Embiid gets to his ceiling much more than Kawhi does. Especially coming off of a game that Kawhi just had, it is risky to fade him. Like, he is in his zone, but I want Pascal Siakam way more today for $1,700 cheaper. And if it gets me to a natural build of Joel Embiid then, or choosing between Damian Lillard and Embiid, I'd probably choose Embiid a little bit more times than not. A lot of people are going to hate on Embiid. They're going to hate on the Sixers. And even if you guys aren't, and you girls aren't, because you're actually looking into this and trying to be contrarian, the far majority of people playing tonight are people who don't play that much DFS. You would be surprised at how many people are like, I found you a week ago or 2 weeks ago when I started to play some NBA DFS for the playoffs. And I was like, I wish you found me months ago, because you're having fun right now playing these 2-game slates. All of us playing these 2-game slates, sure, they're fun, but they're not great. Imagine if you were playing your perfect 8-game slates during the regular season. 36 of you in here. We've done this for 42 goddamn minutes. The actual video is up, so go ahead, go over there, drop a like, drop a comment, help me out. Do whatever you got to do. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm probably going to head out. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Yeah, the video's up. Cool. I'm going to go get some breakfast. These are jobs applying for. Blah. I'm going to go get some breakfast, and I'm going to work on this NFL. So let me know. Let me know in the comments on that new video what you guys want to see in terms of NFL content in the off season. I can do strategy videos. I can do some probably positional rankings. I need water. My mouth is so dry. All right. Peace out. I'll give it another minute. If you have any final questions, I'll answer them. Wow, my mouth is just extremely dry. Any final questions? Get them in right now. Sorry, just shooting a text real quick to the girlfriend. CJ, thanks for your time, Sal. Much appreciated. Yeah, no problem, John. Laurent, CJ, question mark. Yeah, I have interest in CJ at 7K. CJ DFS 300. Yeah, CJ at 7K, I have interest in. Now, if Torrey Craig is going to be isolated on CJ, that obviously gives us some pause, but CJ's price is down. I think there's going to be a lot more hype on a Damian Lillard, as there should be, but the price is also $2,200 more. I prefer CJ to Damian Lillard today, similar to how I prefer Siakam to Kyle Lowry, both ownership-wise and just you're saving a lot of money on a slate like today. Somebody got to score for Portland. I agree. Yep. Especially if Kanter is out, that gives bumps to both Lillard and CJ. Yeah, I like CJ a lot today. He's 8,400 on FanDuel. Yeah, I still like him. Yeah, I like CJ a good amount today. A lot more than, so you're still saving 1,600, obviously a different position. I believe, right, CJ shooting guard on FanDuel. So yeah, I like CJ a lot. One second. All right, Van Vliet punt on FanDuel. Yeah, you could punt Van Vliet. I don't know what the salaries are over there. Seth punt on FanDuel. I'd rather punt Van Vliet. Honestly, I don't know what those salaries are like, but find a Rodney Hood, and if he's a lot cheaper and he gives you more salary to work with, punt with Rodney Hood. Like at that point, yeah, Van Vliet can go and score 20 fantasy points for you on FanDuel. But is it doing you that much, depending on what you can get up to? I don't know, and that's just a reason. Or that's just me not really knowing what the slate looks like on FanDuel. Thoughts on Curry? Yeah, why is everybody Jinx Larkin? What does that mean? What is Jinx? What is like Curry? What is the interest in Curry? Is it FanDuel? Are you guys talking about FanDuel for Curry? Like, is he a punt option there? Because I'm not sure I see the interest like on DraftKings, at least for me. Like, what are we looking at here? Evan Turner, punt. Thanks again, Sal. Yeah, I don't want to go to Evan Turner. Like again, FanDuel, if you're just trying to punt a guy just to get salary options, then sure. But I don't want any Evan Turner. We said it at the same time. Yeah, that's funny. Let's just look at what we got in terms of the price on Seth. 35. Yeah, I don't want to pay $3,500 for Seth Curry. Like this is what people are looking at, right? You're looking at his 27 minutes in the last game. I wouldn't look into that. I would look more into these minutes. Like this was the staple, right? We saw him getting 15 minutes. Like you're not, and now it's the second round of the playoffs where we're going to see Damian Lillard consistently playing 40 minutes and CJ McCollum consistently playing 38 or so minutes. Yeah, I don't see how Seth Curry gets on the court for this many minutes. Like it's not going to happen. McCollum had 3 personal fouls and he only played 32 minutes in the closeout game. I don't know if these personal fouls got him in any foul trouble early on, and that's why we saw more Curry. Somebody can maybe look into that. Yeah, on DK for Turner, Daniel, no. I think 2,900, you don't want that. He's not playing. Like, he's not playing. These 16 minutes in this closeout game, again, they're an outlier. That's not going to be his average. So, like, don't expect this for game 1. Expect 6 or 7. And as a punt, you don't want to put even if he plays 16 minutes, he's a guy who averages like 0.7 fantasy points a minute. He's not all of a sudden going to play 16 minutes and score 25 DraftKings points. Like that's not going to happen. So yeah, I don't think it's viable to do that. So yeah, peace out, guys. Peace out, girls. I am done. I'm going to go do some other things. Have fun today.